Even though I now have been blessed by Moans of Mona and now have the ability to do the classic of all classic Morgana team, I am here with another alternative. This time it's with none other than Tartaglia. Let's see if this team can hold itself up and go over any particular things to be wary of this team. And if you like what you see, feel free to try it out and support this video by tapping that like button to help with the algorithm. Let's begin. With the inclusion of Tartaglia as your Hydro application, you are able to do a little more DPS with investment to Childe. The issue here is that you will be freezing things less than other Morgana iterations. Freeze up time can be mitigated by using Childe on the field in his melee stance, but this is really only worth doing when Ganyu's burst is active. When facing single targets, you are able to use all characters at a distance, which does allow almost 100% freeze time by switching between Ganyu and Childe back and forth. Overall, I think this team is quite valuable if you prefer a little bit of versatility and are okay with switching your DPS between two characters. This comes at the cost of having to invest decently between two characters, but the results make for a fun team in my opinion. For builds, the three concurrent characters, Ganyu, Diona, and Venti, remain the same as previous freeze comps. As for Childe, I do a typical 4-piece Heart of Depth set on him. It's standard stuff, but it works. If you really want to build something specific for this particular team, then I would suggest a 4-piece Blizzard Strayer for the 4-piece bonus. This would allow you to focus less on crit rate and stack more crit damage, but you would be wasting the 2-piece bonus, but that is overshadowed by the potential higher crits you would be doing. The problem here is that you already need a Blizzard Strayer set on Ganyu, and you will already be farming both sets together. That being said, no one can predict what piece they will get, and if you happen to have better luck with Blizzard Strayer than Heart of Depth, then by all means go with what you get. For a weapon, I use the Battle Pass weapon for more crit rate, and I do really like its passive on Tartaglia. I happen to have one Skyward Harp that goes on Ganyu, but any weapon on Childe that helps with your stats will do. However, I would avoid Elemental Mastery for this team as you won't be benefiting from it much in a freeze comp. Like most Morgana teams, the rotation starts identical to each other. First off, you start with Ganyu's Elemental Skill and Burst, followed by Venti's Elemental Skill and Burst. Do Diona's Hold E, hold down Diona's Elemental Skill, and follow that up with her Burst. And another Elemental Skill if Sakbo activates. With Childe, you have two locations to insert him in your rotation. One of them is after Diona, go into Childe and do a ranged burst for high damage AoE Hydro to freeze everything in Venti's Burst. Ranged burst is preferred here as you will get energy back from casting it, allowing for quicker uptime. From here, it depends on your opponents. If they are small enemies, Childe's melee form will have a hard time hitting them within Venti's burst, therefore switching to Ganyu to do a few charge attacks is better. If the enemies are bigger and Venti's burst is infused with cryo, then melee Tartaglia may be the better option to perma-freeze. Just be wary that you may want to switch into Ganyu regardless if she's far more invested. The other option is to start with a Tartaglia burst and follow that up with Venti's Elemental Skill and Burst to infuse Venti's burst with Hydro. This allows for more freeze time as you will be applying more cryo, far more than Hydro when Ganyu is using her charge shots. If you do have some energy recharge problems or find yourself having messed up your rotation, you can activate Ganyu's burst and go into melee Childe for some decent perma-freeze damage. Once enemies are reduced to a smaller number, you could do charge shots with Ganyu and Tartaglia to keep them frozen, and stall some time to build burst back up for the next chamber if time allows. Take advantage of Ganyu's Elemental Skill when an opponent gets too close to put some distance. Since Childe and Venti don't have the best synergy with Tartaglia, unable to hit some opponents in Venti's burst, replacing Venti with Sucrose is recommended if you prefer to use Childe on the field more than Ganyu. Alternatively, you may also use Kazuha. And that's all there is to it. Not too difficult to use, good damage but maybe not as much freeze as other builds, but not everyone has Mona, although I do now. And some people simp for Childes. Wait a minute. Anyways, enjoy the rest of this run, and don't forget to hit that like button if you found this helpful, and if you want more random Genshin content, or are interested to chat with me when I go live, consider subscribing to this channel. That being said, that is all for now, and until the next freeze comp, adieu, and goodbye.
I wouldn't think you can get away. Brace yourselves. Diona Special! Scratch! For Rex Lapis! No touching! Shake your hands!
Brace yourself! This is gonna hurt! Yeah!